Daily discussion post, March 3rd, 2020. Vertical bar questions, images / videos, comments, unconfirmed reports, suggestions. Vertical bar subreddit news. Webbed. We shall learn about different types of coronavirus and how they work, and then convince ourselves we have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and ehrlichiosis. Mind providing some context for those of us who have no idea what are you talking about? Sounds like it's very easy to self-diagnose or misdiagnose using Webbed. How is there not a fact sticky at the top of the daily discussion post? Literally half the comments here are people asking the same fucking questions that have been answered 100 times over. Because the mods are terrible. Is anybody here in Texas? I'm just curious on how the situation is where you are. Are your friends / coworkers concerned? Or do they think it's a joke? Any supply related issues in stores? Anything out of the ordinary? Dallas here. I haven't been out publicly in about 2 days, but things were relatively quiet then. However, I did notice antiseptic items were sold out everywhere I checked. Most people I talk to about this don't seem to care because there are no confirmed cases in the area. My requests to work from home have been denied several times now, but I'm going to keep trying. Edit. General location and tidbits added. In Dallas. TX. Stores allow the hot commodities, but not completely out in some stores. Rarely are face masks worn in public. Pending testing of inmates for the virus. Work has not been cancelled. Panic level seems tepid. My mother is a flight attendant. She mainly flies to China. That's what she did. She flew right next to the outbreak several times before flights were cancelled between us and China earlier this year. And now the cities that she flew to have the coronavirus. Now she has a pneumonia. I really hope she's just sick and I'm just being paranoid. If she's in the US, she should self-quarantine and call the local health department. How long do experts or others believe this is going to last? Is this just like another few weeks / month thing, or what's the projected timetable? No one knows. The experts don't agree. Just today, one said that millions will die, and another said that the virus will burn itself out by May. Based on Merriam-Webster dictionary, an expert is someone who is very stubborn on their own point of view and never tends to agree with anyone else's opinion. The point is, you will never have experts agreeing on a point. They all have their opinions based on how they see things and what their agenda is. Just posted this in yesterday's thread, so I'll say it again here. I have no idea what to think about coronavirus rationally, but emotionally I'm crippled with anxiety. I'm 23 and basically in good health, but I have asthma, which is mild and well controlled. But still, everyone, even the experts, casually says that it only affects people with underlying health conditions. Like I and everyone else with it don't matter. I feel like it's inevitable that I'll get it and it'll kill me and people won't care because of my underlying issue. Frightens the life out of me, and noon's providing any reassurance. Yeah, alright Bo. I don't want to be all panicky, but people saying oh, this is just like the flu and it's only the government's trying to control us are getting on my nerves. I have tried to share information and made aware of the differences of the coronavirus vs the flu vs SARS vs MERS. Don't know how to inform people without sounding like it's the end of times. I had this problem with my flatmate, kept tuning out. Now I give him 60 seconds updates on the condition. I don't mention coronavirus for the rest of the day, but only if he gives me his undivided attention. It worked really well. Spend weeks getting nowhere, but actually feel I'm starting to get through. A local Seattle woman says she suspected having the virus because of symptoms. Seeked out testing via national hotline. Got no effective response. And had to call multiple sources herself to find out where a test was actually available. Twitter thread on seeking a coronavirus test link. com/into_brush/status/1234685467682979840 $s=21. Have other people had a similar experience? I completely believe the US governor and Trump admin are being incompetent on this. Has this been common so far? Is the CDC performing effectively? You mean the CDC? Right. Anyways. The whole world is doing a poor job considering its spread. Also take into consideration the fact that we really know nothing about the virus. If you're not feeling well, common sense says go to the doctor. Here is a comment from China. Do take this shit seriously. Shouldn't have spoken. President Xi is gonna take you off to the gigs now. I posted this in a reply, but I'm going to post it in a top level comment as well. For anyone in the United States who has symptoms and is wondering how to get tested, health departments and healthcare providers in the US are using the CDC criteria to guide evaluation of persons under investigation for COVID-19 link. cdc.gov/coronavirus/2019 clinical HTML CDC_AA_REFVAL equals https://3a%2f%2f www. CDC gov%2f coronavirus%2f 2019 clinical criteria HTML to determine who to test. Generally speaking, you're probably not going to get tested unless you have one of the three combinations of clinical features and epidemiologic risk factors listed here. Link imga.com/mgakboo png. In other words, the hospital probably won't even admit you unless you have a severe acute lower respiratory illness, e.g., pneumonia, ARDS, requiring hospitalization, or you have symptoms and either recently traveled to geographic regions where sustained community transmission has been identified, or had close contact with a laboratory-confirmed COVID-19 patient. Also, a lot of healthcare providers are asking people with symptoms to self-quarantine and call your local health department instead of going to a hospital or clinic. Going to a hospital or clinic can put others at risk and lead to a situation where any workers you might have exposed have to be quarantined as a precaution and the facility may have to be closed for disinfecting. A lot of people have symptoms and cannot get tested right now. I posted this on r/travel and just curious if I might get any thoughts over here too. A quick Google/Reddit search is coming up empty thus far. My husband and I are going to Bali this week for 10 days for our honeymoon. While the situation is nerve-wracking, we are both young and healthy and am not that concerned overall. However, he and I both just had upper respiratory viruses a couple weeks ago. We're both mostly over it and no longer contagious, but still have lingering coughs. I'm nervous about how other people might react to us coughing on our flights or potentially being pulled aside in a screening at one of the airports on our way there or back. Is there anything we can do to mitigate overreaction? I'm afraid that you have to count in weird lucks as well as a fast test at the airport. It will be annoying/humiliating, but please keep in mind that the airport security has the obligation to check, so everyone stays as safe as they can be. I can't imagine that it takes long. As I said, there are fast tests, I would guess with per screens. The people will look weird. I also got some weird looks because the aftermath of my cold and the connected cough. One has to stand over it and not let it get to you. You can understand them in some way. If it gets too much or anything, you can just disclaim that you too are in fact not sick with corona. Another thing, I don't mean to scare you, but please do bear in mind that you have a high risk of infection due to your prior respiratory viruses. Now that your lungs took a hit, they are an easier target for corona. I'd suggest seeing a doctor again before you guys leave. Please do inform yourselves about the situation in Bali, at the airports, if you have stops in between, and of course, I wish you a beautiful honeymoon nonetheless. I hope that you will have safe travels and a wonderful and healthy time. Edit. I just saw that you wrote weeks ago, so what I said about the high risk might not be dramatic, but to be safe and sure, please do see a doctor again if you didn't ask him or her already about your travel plans, prior infection and corona. Thanks. That's what we were anticipating, but good to be validated. We've both seen our doctor and have no concerns for our health. More so that we'd be profiled and stopped or held up in our travels. Here's to hoping our costs clear up before we leave. You're of course welcome. Indeed. I hope so too. If you can, and if it helps, Take menthol and eucalyptus dredges as a cough stiller. Maybe also some fennel honey, works wonders. And if you are still checked, please know that it probably won't take long. Of course I hope that you get through unbothered. Latvia has a confirmed case. However, Noon has posted about it since the only current source is in Latvian. Not true. I saw a post about it yesterday, but these posts now fly under the radar now. Link b/cnqbq67 some good news and some bad news from this. There are sources that say that the R0 is between 4 and 7, meaning for every person that has the virus they infect a further 4 to 7 people. This would mean exponential growth. Within a month you could go from 1 case to 256 cases if a 1-week generation span is correct. However, better news. There's a graph that shows a difference in spread vs seasons. For example, countries in summer/hotter climates anyway have a lot less cases than those in winter. Hopefully, this is correct, as it could kill the virus off. However, in the case of Iran, I'm not sure. Although, they are not enforcing containment plans as it apparently doesn't work coming from their health minister who has the virus. Iran isn't hot at all at this time of year. Should I stock up on food? Yes. And water, gloves, masks, and hand sanitizer. Prob won't need much water. It's unlikely the utilities will go out. Still better to have bottled water than tap water. Depends on where you are from. Was planning a trip to Chicago in a week or two. Now I'm way too scared to even go to work. OCD sucks. Went to coffee shop today. 2 Asian customers came in and started speaking what seems like Chinese. Suddenly coffee shop is empty and the only people left are the 2 customers and me. But after 2 minutes the 2 customers decided to leave. I bet they felt unwelcomed. They appeared to be tourists, but that's just my assumption since they were taking a lot of photo of the coffee shop interiors. This makes me so sad. I totally get the fear that comes with this virus. I'm working in a place where quite a few Asians come to, and I've had thoughts of fear when Asians came to my desk right after Corona started as well, but never would I give in to those. Like, Asia is huge and many Asian people live in my city, just as many Asians live in the US. By now everyone could have it, and to assume every Asian person you see is infected is straight up uninformed, if not to say dangerous, and can lead to racist behavior. I'm so sorry for all the Asian people that must feel unwelcomed and rejected now. I live in Asia, so most people are Asians here, and unless they speak people won't be able to tell that they are Chinese for sure. However, since they started to speak Chinese even other Asians were paranoid. And yes, now many people have it, but I guess it has something to do with hearing Chinese reminding people of the virus, which is unfortunate. It's perhaps something like speaking Arabic in a subway in the USA after 9/11. I get that we should save nurse masks for nurses, and I know that Amazon is now selling cheap 3 meters P100 masks for professional/commercial use only. But how can they still be saying that wearing something like a P100 mask doesn't help a huge amount to keep from getting the virus? I think it's kind of good they're keeping people from hoarding. But why not just allow people who aren't using it for professional/commercial use to buy a single mask, or limit the amount people can buy? The problem is hoarding. But Amazon can control how many of an item people can buy. So why are they not allowing regular people to just buy a single P100 mask for themselves at a normal non-price gouged price? I ordered 3 pairs of P100 cartridges last night, no problem. There was a box I had to check for commercial use, but that's it. To be fair, I'm a contractor, but how would they know either way? The first death from coronavirus in Australia happened not too long ago. I hope it gets resolved before any more lives are taken. Does anyone know what's going on in Europe? Majority of what I see here is either us or Asia. It does feel as though this subreddit is heavily skewed towards the US. Lots of duplicate articles about WA, Canada, but nothing about the UK. We've had a confirmed case now in Kent. Does anyone know where someone could get tested for the virus in or around Washington DC? Call your doctor and ask. Do not go to the hospital unless you need emergency care. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.